Hello everyone, welcome. So, in the earlier videos, we have seen how in the life process of class 10, we have seen what is life process, we have seen through nutrition. Now, coming into respiration. So, we do take in oxygen, we breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. Okay, we breathe in air which is rich in oxygen, and we breathe out air which is rich in carbon dioxide. Okay, so in all cases, and this oxygen is used for breaking down of the glucose completely into carbon dioxide and water. So in all cases, first step is breaking the glucose. So glucose is a 6 carbon molecule which is broken into 3 carbon molecule which is pyruvate. Okay, so this process takes place in the cytoplasm. So this is in the cytoplasm. Then after that, since the process takes place in absence of air, it is anaerobic respiration. Okay. So now this takes place in the cytoplasm. Okay, so 6 carbon to the 3 carbon conversion, that is glucose conversion into pyruvate conversion, it takes place in the cytoplasm. Then this pyruvate, it undergoes three different breaking down which takes place. So if I come down here, see here, and if there is an absence of oxygen, which is the anaerobic respiration, we get ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. Okay, ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. So this process takes place in yeast during fermentation. And the breaking down of pyruvate in presence of oxygen, which takes place in mitochondria, it will give carbon dioxide, water and energy. Okay, and in the muscles, due to lack of oxygen, the conversion will be, pyruvate will be converted into lactic acid and energy. Okay, so now this is aerobic respiration which takes place in presence of oxygen, and when it is in the lack of oxygen, the pyruvate is converted into lactic acid. Okay, the buildup of lactic acid in our muscles during sudden activity causes cramps. That is why you will have pain and all those things because of lack of oxygen. Okay, the energy released during cellular respiration is immediately used to synthesize ATP. And which is the fuel of our body. So this ATP will be broken down always to release energy. Okay, so this is how it will work. Okay, so the ATP is broken down, giving rise to the fixed amount of energy which can drive the endothermic reactions taking place inside the cell. So in aerobic respiration, it is very much important, it depends completely on oxygen, so it is very much important that the cells gets enough amount of oxygen. So in plants, who does it? It is done by stomata. So stomata, here the opening or the closing of stomata is taking place by the concentration gradient. So we know that during photosynthesis is the process which is producing, so it is converting carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen, and the oxygen is taken and given out, carbon dioxide is given out by respiration. So what happens at night? At night, photosynthesis does not occur. So as the photosynthesis does not occur, so what happened? This carbon dioxide is released into the air. Whereas in the daytime, the carbon dioxide can be utilized by photosynthesis to produce oxygen. So there is less release of carbon dioxide that is taking place. Okay, and animals also have evolved with different organs for their uptake of oxygen from the environment. Okay, so terrestrial animals can breathe in oxygen in the atmosphere, but the animals living in water, they have to take in dissolved oxygen. So you know, the dissolved oxygen is, the concentration of dissolved oxygen is very low, so the rate of breathing is much higher in the aquatic animals. So what does fishes do? Fishes will take up take in water, and then will take in the dissolved oxygen in water, and then will remove it through their gills. Okay, remove the carbon dioxide rich dissolved carbon dioxide through the gills. Okay, so terrestrial organisms use oxygen in the atmosphere for respiration. This oxygen is absorbed by different organs in different animals. All these organs have structure that increases the surface area which is in contact with the oxygen rich atmosphere. Since the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide has to take place across this surface, the surface is very fine and delicate. So you will have your lungs and heart which is being covered or protected by your rib cages. In human beings, basically I'm talking about. So in human beings, what happens? The air is entering through your nostril. So nose. So inside the nose there are nostrils, hair like structures which will stop any germs or any external dust to enter into the respiratory tract. So this air is passing through the nostrils, is filtered by fine hair like hair that line the passage. This passage is so lined with mucus which helps in the process. From here the air, it will move through the throat into the lungs, okay, through the larynx, pharynx. That's how we are speaking. From here, rings of the cartilages are present in the throat. This ensures that the air passage does not collapse. So now coming into here, within the lungs, the passage divides into smaller and smaller tubes which finally terminate into balloon-like structure. So you have the bronchi, the bronchioles. So the bronchi, there is a division. Then the bronchioles division is there, which ends up with the balloon-like structure, which is the alveolar sac. Okay, this alveoli provide a surface where the exchange of gases can take place. The walls of the alveoli contains an extensive network of blood vessels, as we have seen in earlier year. Okay, so there is an exchange of gases which takes place. So what happens as we breathe in? So when we breathe in, we lift our ribs and flatten the diaphragm. The diaphragm is over here, so you see the diaphragm. So the diaphragm flattens. We lift our rib cages. Okay, so the lungs, it expands because of the air, and now the blood brings the carbon dioxide from the rest of the body and release it into the alveoli, and the oxygen in the alveolar air is taken up by the blood in the alveolar blood vessels to be transported to the rest of the body. So during this breathing cycle, when the air is taken in and let out, the lungs always contain a residual volume. So why this residual volume is there? So residual volume is there so that there is sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and carbon dioxide to be released. Okay, when the body size of the animal is very large, they have a special pigment which is there for transport of oxygen. So like in human beings, we have hemoglobin, which is the pigment which is present. Okay, the pigment which is present in the RBCs. Okay, carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen is, and hence it is mostly transported in dissolved form in our blood. Okay, so that is with the respiratory system. Thank you.